Hey guys, welcome back. We got another Hamilton Beach that we're restoring here. This one was sent in by Gretchen, and this is a model M2B, which is this is a later model, I believe. Not positive, but I think this would have been late 60s, early 70s. Like I said, I'm not 100% positive. It's got no indicators here for the speed, and it's just got a generic decal that was on it that said Hamilton Beach. But you can see it probably had a black turntable. The turntable wasn't sent with it because it's probably plastic. But black turntable, black handle, and a gray cord. Now I'm not 100% sure if this is the original cord anyways, because this just doesn't look like if you see it's ribbed almost like vacuum cleaner cord here. I'm not 100% positive this is original cord, but either way we're going to use it for now to plug it in and see. I'm just going to get a new cord when it's done, but we're going to plug it in and see if this thing works. Okay, and as you see, it does work. It sounds a little bit rough, but it does work. I think this has an issue that we had saw on another one here, where I think this main screw in here may be bent. I think this whole handle may be pushed backwards some, because if you look right there, you can see there's that gap right there, and also you can see one of the holes that's in the top of this right there, and also this right here, you can see it's on top of this plate on the top. It's supposed to be under it. So I'm not sure if this has been disassembled before or what the deal is with it, but it's coming all apart again anyways, so it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to get the brushes out here. I just got a spring out with no brush. Let's check the other side, see if we can get a brush out of here. See if we can get one out of here intact. Alright, and as you can see, not a lot of brush left on there at all, so the brushes are quite worn on here. I think I'm going to go and start taking off like some of these pieces here, this end plate, and then we'll work on the handle. I do have a sneaky suspicion that the handle screw may be bent. Now you see that on these, like the Model K, the Model K, the Model 23, all the ones after, basically after Model H. See, normally this is a shiny polished piece, but on here it's all white, so that's pretty interesting too. Yep, you can see the way the handle moves back and forth. The screw is definitely bent here. But we can still get it out, and strangely enough, it doesn't really look bent. Right at the very bottom right here. I don't know if you can see that. Right at the very bottom it's bent. The only part that threads in. Alright, and there's a little piece of the plastic broken off in there from that. Yeah, obviously it must have got hit and shoved it back. The screw's been way too easy on these. Alright, so you can see there's a decent amount of oil and goo on there. just try and clean it up somewhat as we go. If not, we're going to end up with it everywhere. A little recessed area on this side. It's just got a puddle of it in there. Alright, so that's good for now. Let me tilt this forward. We're going to pull the end of this machine off here. Take a look at the gearbox. So right screwdriver here. Alright. I seem to be missing my main screwdriver. I don't know where I had it at, but I'm not so sure. This little one ain't gonna work. Alright, I gotta go hunt up my screwdriver. Okay, so it was here in the shop all along. I just didn't put it back in the drawer. So I always try to put my stuff away so I can find it easier. Lost quite a few things though that I've never been able to find again. Mostly out in the garage, I'm sure. They're probably still out there somewhere. Alright, let me pop this off here. And there goes our screw. You guys see that? I just dropped that screw. I just dropped that screw right there and look how it landed. Couldn't do that again if I tried. Anywho, back to what we were doing here. You can see the grease that's in there, and this one right here is kind of tough to turn. Oh, let me get where you guys can actually see what I'm doing. That one right there is kind of tough to turn. This one still goes nice and free. We'll have to get all that grease out of there and pull these gears out and the shafts. And that gobs of grease stuck all over the end cap here too, so I'm going to go get this off now. That way we can pull this end cap off of here. Yeah, there's a lot of goo in here. This seems to be pretty broken down. Part of it's like a little thick, and then you got stuff up in here that's like really oily. I'll clean off what we can. Yeah, this thing is pretty gooey up here, all the way around the outside of it even. I mean, we can get it clean with the degreaser, but at least not a grease that you leave on here, the better. Alright, so time to pull these little nuts out of here so we can get down to the inside. Alright, I want to throw this greasy stuff in a container here. Oh. Alright, that nut stayed in the socket. There we go. Alright, let's pull this off. Try and clean some of the goo out of there. Set that aside. Alright, here's the speed control. Yeah, see, I want to check this. Is another issue with these models here. I don't know if you can see this part right here is warped up. because they go in there and they're like pushed against here. You know, so you constantly have pressure on this whole piece. But because this right here is stopped by the housing, it tends to bend this part up right there, and I don't know why it's not focusing here. There we go. I have to focus it manually. You can see how that gets warped. And there's really not a whole lot I can do about that. I mean, you can't take the warp out of it once it's in there. Yeah, this whole thing is like just covered with oil and grease in here. So it's probably been well lubricated too. I mean, I'm sure it's been, you know, given its oil regularly. But eventually that does just build up in here everywhere. Alright, so let's pull this down out of the way. Yeah, the back side of this is even just crusty. It's got carbon and oil and everything else on it. Oh, just lost our washer. Alright, and this is, you can see the amount of carbon that's built up in there. That's pretty extensive. Alright, let's get our armature out. Nope. Alright. Almost forgot. I'll pop this bottom off here. We got some secondary brushes we got to pull out. Probably should have done this first, but sometimes I do things in reverse because I just don't think. You can see the amount of carbon build up on that plate there as well. Alright, let's get our cord disconnected while we're in here too. Okay, I gotta set this down and use two hands. Nip this cord really quick so we can pull it out. Alright, cord's out of the way. Now we can disconnect it or pull it right through there. Here we've got something round. I don't know where the heck that went, but here we've got a looks like a resistor or capacitor. I mean, that was soldered on there. Yeah, this capacitor's been replaced before. But let's get our secondary brushes out. Okay, there's one. Yeah, this thing's definitely had some service done before. Get that other secondary brush out. Alright, let me just slide this out of the way because I'm going to pull this armature out of here now. Alright. Armature, believe it or not, doesn't have any wear on it here. I don't feel a ridge on it. So we'll just have to polish that up pretty good. Let me set that aside. I'm going to take a peek in here and you can see all the carbon buildup that's in there. Alright. I think I'm going to rearrange stuff here. Set this down here like this and point the camera down here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. I have to zoom out a bit. There we go. Alright, so I got to pull these nuts off of here. There's a nut there and a nut there. I got to get them loosened up. once I loosen them up, I can loosen up these threaded rods, pull these threaded rods out of here. Alright. Work on loosening these rods up. Alright, so there's one. I'm covered with carbon. Every part inside of here is going to have to be decarbonized really good. That's a lot of carbon in here. Man, this one does not want to unthread easily. Hopefully you guys can still see somewhat. Alright, let's get that threaded rod out. Now I've just got to pop my clips off the brush holders down here. But I got to be really careful when I'm in here because, see these right here, these are actually wire wound resistors. They're like 60 ohms each. And I got to be really careful because they're kind of fragile. I definitely don't want to break them. I do got to get these clips off of here very carefully. There we go. Alright, so now I should be able to pull this whole assembly out in one shot. So make sure this capacitor is going to clear. There we go. Alright, so here's our whole entire motor assembly. Covered in flour and carbon. You can see the back side of those resistors there. We just have to be extremely careful with this. You can see this wire did break off of here, so I'm going to have to resolder that onto here. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I got to get the whole thing cleaned up really good with contact cleaner because it's covered in carbon. I can't really scrub it with anything else. Alright, now that we've gotten to that point, let me get the spacers out of here. There's what's left of a brush in there, tiny little piece. I want to see if I can get these brush holders out of here. Well, they are going. They're a little bit tight in there. Like I said, they are moving, so. Alright, so you see I got most of the way out. I'm going to try and grip them with something here. There's one. There's two. Alright, those are going to have to get cleaned up really good too. Now, down the side there, you can see there's the bushing right down in there. Right here, there's a spring around here that holds the bushing in. And underneath that spring is one felt wick, and then the bushing comes out, and there's another felt wick, so I got to work on getting that out. So I'll be right back as soon as I get that out. Okay, so I managed to get all the parts out. There's the lower, there's your lower wick, and then your bushing sits on it like that, and your upper wick fits between the bushing and the housing down there, and then of course the spring goes on like that and clips under there, and they're a pain. If you ever worked on a Hamilton Beach, you know, you'll know that these right here cost a lot of cussing. And on this machine here, you know, these particular models, Model H and later, that's my second least favorite part of them. Okay, now this one is stripped down other than the fingerprints all over it from all the carbon, but that part there is stripped down and ready to go. So now I've got to do my least favorite part on these models, which is getting the gears out of here. Hopefully these set screws will come out with no problem, but I found that for some reason on these the set screws like to stick in there and not come out. So we're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best on this one. You know, your Model G and older, even your your Model H, they seem to come out pretty decent. But on some of these newer ones, for some reason, it's like, well, this one's not going to be a problem because that one was loose. But some of these, they're in there so tight they get seized in there, and you can't get them out. But I got lucky on this one because these screws are both loose as can be. And I'm going to throw them in the greasy parts bin. Alright, so there's one shaft, and you can see, you know, the old oil residue on it. See if we can't get the other shaft to come out as easy. Yep, same thing. Alright, let's get our gears along with the washers out of here. I think that one came out with both washers on it. Yes, it did. And so did that one. Alright, so we got our gears washers in there. So now pretty much all I got to do is just get the grease out of here and, you know, give this a good wash and a degreaser, and then this can be blasted. The only part that's left now is the base on here, which is just a typical base. These things right here are always a chore to get off. There's really nowhere, even if you heat it up, there's really nowhere where you can really drive it off. So they're a bit of a pain to get off. I just work with it, you know. I heat up this part here to expand it, and then just try to slowly work it off of there. And of course, there's a pin here that connects it to the actual base. We got the bowl control right here, which is the same, and then there's only screws left here for the feet. There's no feet left in it. But that's pretty much all we got for disassembly on this. So I'm going to go through and get that all disassembled, and after we get everything powder coated and ready to put back together, or probably after we get it put back together, we'll come back and check it out. Alright, so as you guys can see, we got this one all wrapped up now. We've got new cord, new brushes, new feet, new grease, a few fingerprints left on it I got to get off. The bowl control works nice and smooth on it. This thing did run good before, but man, I've got grease all over this thing. Yeah, I needed a little bit of you know, cleaning inside and stuff. There was a lot of carbon in there. The brushes were shot. You know, had you know, basically it needed you know, complete service maintenance done on it. You know, we went through. We got everything all powder coated back to white on here, and everything cleaned up. The screw that was in here, I couldn't find a replacement, so I ended up being able to straighten that one out, which was fortunate. And this is tucked back underneath here the way it's supposed to be. So why don't we go ahead and fire this thing up and give us a listen to here. Alright, so this dial's got quite a range from, you know, pretty slow all the way up to really fast. Runs nice and smooth, sounds good. We're going to go through, we're going to get it wiped down one last time and get it packed up and ready to get on back to Gretchen. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get to those as soon as I can. And as always, thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.